Earlier, we unpacked what messy play is and its benefits, and we're continuing our conversation with our regular creative parenting expert, Nikki Bush, in the house. This is the most fun I've had on set in a long time. So we talked about messy play, Nikki. Can you give parents some fun ideas as to how they can incorporate that into their child's developmental regime?
Absolutely. So, little kids who are sitting in a high chair, for example, if you're having pasta for supper, you can give them pasta to play with on the high chair. It's ooey and it's gooey and it's fantastic for their development. Then you might have an older child who's now maybe learning shapes when they're in preschool. Now, this is just a simple flour dredger from the kitchen, and you can get them to then draw their shapes in the flour, okay? And when they're older and they're learning their numbers and their letters, they could be drawing their numbers or their letters in that flour.
Amazing.
So they could do exactly the same thing in the dough as well. You can use many different substances for children to actually play with and work with, but everything is actually sending input to the brain through the skin, the muscles, and the joints.
Do you know what I love about this? So mom's cooking dinner, right?
Yeah.
There you go. You can have the kids. They're in the kitchen. They're messing about. You're watching them. They're actually being creative. They can play with their dough. And it's better than saying, go away, go watch TV, go play
100%.
TV games where nothing creative is actually happening.
And that's the thing, is we tend to do that because we don't want the mess. Yeah. But look at what our children are actually learning when they're here. And don't forget things like mud and sand. So we need to create mess spots in our homes where kids are allowed to make a mess. Wow. A designated spot. So if you've got a little place in your garden where the grass doesn't grow, don't despair. Let your children use that. With water, mud, they will have a ball. They create car tracks and bicycle tracks and golf courses, and you will be amazed when you watch children do this free play, how much actually goes on. You can almost hear those little cogs turning, but the joy, the fun on their faces is incredible.
What I want to know is, how can parents benefit from engaging in messy play with their children?
So as you experienced earlier in the show when we were fiddling with this Play-Doh, it's incredibly calming. So it's good for us as well as for our children, just to step the energy down a little bit. But I really do think that if you can play with your children, you can all be creative together. And you can be building things and making things, and it's just seeing your children's minds in action, their creativity in action. And remember, you don't really have opportunities here to break things, or there's no failure. This is all positive, and we can have conversation while we're busy, because creativity is not all cerebral. It's a total body experience, and I think that's what's so cool about this stuff.
And of course, time spent, that is the most important thing as well, with each other.
Being together, connecting emotionally, and not having to judge what's being done. And you don't judge children's pictures, you just accept them for what they are. And all their little works of art, whether they're models or whether they're pictures on paper, make sure you put them up on the walls, put them on the windowsill, because you treasure those things, and children need to know that.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Nikki. This has once again been parenting gold. Love having you here.
Thank you.
Well, if you shied away from messy play, then why don't you go to Nikki's website for more help? That's toytalk.co.za.